How about Cody Eakin? He wasn't at practice.
Yeah, Cody sustained an injury. We hope it's minor, and he's getting some imaging this morning that we couldn't get last night, just to give us definitive what it is. So that was the reason for missing practice. We should know more. We will know more within a couple hours.
Is he still up in the air for tomorrow?
He could be in the lineup tomorrow. Yeah. That's what we're hopeful for. There's nothing long term, and he's back in it.
Vinny a possibility for tomorrow?
Vinny is a probability for tomorrow. So he looked good in practice. He feels ready to go. So I'll have another talk with him. But yeah.
With Zemgus still more practice time needed to gauge that one?
Yeah, Zemgus, it was the first full practice he was in. He was in the pregame skate yesterday, which was optional. So he looked good. It's going to be conversations now on how he feels, and obviously he'll have to talk with the medical team now that he's advanced to full practice. And I would say he's, based on what I just watched out there, he's probably day-to-day as well.
When it comes to Craig, his presence, what has he meant to you guys as a group? Just that the wisdom he brings, everything, not only his performance on the ice this season, but behind the scenes, what he's been for this.
Yeah, I mean, if you're watching games, and it's tough during timeouts, TV timeouts, but even last night, he comes right to the bench and is trying to calm guys down, trying to give guys direction, and as a coach, just coaching over the years, there's sometimes that makes you cringe because maybe the message isn't the right message. And I can tell you with Craig, like with Oki, the message is sound. I mean, it's a message of great hindsight and experience, and very in the moment. So that's just an example. He did it last night again in a game that was beneficial. So, and then he's able to, obviously, because it's experience, go right back in the net and make sure his job is done. It's not a distraction to him. So, great demeanor as well. He's got a fun-loving component to him, even in the really, really competitive moments. He still has that pure love for the game itself and the moment itself. So, there's a lot to him.
How remarkable is his? He's knocking on the door of 300 wins. How remarkable is his journey when you look back at the early days? I mean, he was on the Bruins. I think you remember you had him on the Blues for 2 days. I mean, he bounced around. He was on Rochester for a whole year. I mean, it took him a while to get going.
Yeah, he when I was an assistant coach in St. Louis, we picked him up on waivers. He didn't play, and we had to put him back on waivers a few days later. I can't even remember the scenario. And someone else picked him up, and then that was it. I mean, his career, he never hit waivers again, from my knowledge. And here he is approaching 300 wins now, 15 years later. So remarkable. Players, if you're not those top guys, then those top guys get a first chance, a second chance, a third chance, sometimes a fourth chance. One team will take the next. If you're in situations where you have to grind, and he's done that, and he's made himself an NHL career. So, I have a lot of respect for him as a person, but when you think about the grind he's gone through, that respect rises even more. And I told our team a few games ago that as a coach, I'll be very proud to be part of his 300 wins. I mean, it's pretty special that he's got a chance to do that, and that we have a chance to be a part of it.
What was your reaction to that shift Casey Middlestat had with about 3 minutes left last night? Kind of a one-man forecheck.
Yeah, his game. We're watching him first struggle when he came back from the injury, and progressively get better every day, every game, every practice. So to see him finally start being able to do more of what he can do, feel more like himself, is great to see, because he's put the work in. He's fought aggravation, high expectations of his own, and then to see him finally get to kind of immerse competitively in the moment and achieve. And he was great for us last night. Great. So a lot of fun watching him play. Hi, Jim. How are you?
Good. Apologize. Can you help us catch up on 5 months? Last time we saw you guys, it was right at the beginning of the year. You were on a real good streak.
Yeah.
It appears that you're on that again. Maybe some of the the components that have come together for success for your
Geez,
group?
you know what? We have battled a lot this year. We've had lots of injuries, not a lot of lineup continuity. I think what's similar now to the start of the year is some lineup continuity. You know, we have. I mentioned after the game last night, Jim. We had 3 really young centermen, guys that weren't centermen even in this league until this year, and Thompson, Cousins, and Krebs, and then Middlestead. I mean, those are our 4 centermen that are going to be moving through our franchise with us, and they had virtually 0 NHL experience until this year. So, but we haven't had them in the lineup, and so, you know, I just mentioned Middlestead finally getting back from his injury and finally starting to look like himself. We felt like we had that depth of skill last night, and I think that was the difference for us in the game. You know, Skinner scored 2 late, but I think it was Olofsson scored last night, did he not? On a separate line, and then Middlestead was with Cousins' line and on a separate line, and they scored. And nobody in here is surprised that any of those guys can score because they're talent. So that's a big component, and I think our defensively, our young guys are emerging. Darlene is really emerged. So has Yokoharu, who's not in the lineup recently because of injury. And then Fitzgerald and Samuelson have come up from the American League, and really they don't look like they're young kids. We've given them big minutes and big responsibility, and they've handled it all.
Safe to say Darlene does things that others just can't.
Yeah, he does. You know, every puck touch, he does things. Every single puck touch. You know, we use him a lot on defensive zone faceoffs because if you win it to him, he's going to make the right decision, and it's going to, you know, more likely you're getting out of the zone. And if you lose it, he knows. You know, you got teams running face-off plays and guys running all over the ice, and he reads and reacts as good as anybody defensively, which is something that, you know, he never was given credit for. You never saw. And he's very intelligent, hockey sense defensively. So, and he plays with grit, Jim. He's a gritty player. Yeah. So, okay.
Thank you, Don.